Hello and welcome to the Changemaking Insight series. I'm Anambakar, an educator with over 5 years of experience in UA. In today's session, we'll delve into a critical aspect of entrepreneurship: why startups often face challenges and fail. We're fortunate to have a seasoned expert with us, Mr. Ali, the founder of Yes Network Pakistan, an Ashoka Fellow, and a Survey Scholar. With over 25 years of expertise in activating young people as changemakers. Mr. Ali, could you please share your insights on why startups encounter hurdles and how change making principles can empower young minds to navigate these challenges?
Thank you very much, Anna. It is a great question. Change making provides a solid foundation for setting up a company or attracting an exciting job. When you are involved in change making, you are involved in spotting opportunities, building solutions, solving problems, developing relationships. And these are highly sought after qualities, abilities by employees. And these qualities are also required to set up a company. In my personal opinion, the biggest benefit of getting involved in change making is that it helps you to discover your change making power. And once your change making power is activated, it can really help you to either set up your own company or find an exciting job. According to the third party evaluation carried out by British Council about our work, uh, 71% of young people that were involved in our programs were able to either set up their own enterprises or find a job in the same year, and 21% young people in the next year. This shows that how swiftly this idea provides a pathway for employment. You see, change making basically puts you in the driver's seat. It helps you to discover your value adding qualities. It helps you to use your pre existing capacity, and it leads you to the doorstep of innovation. It is the best way to predict the future of young people. It is a sad reality that large number of young people are unable to discover and use their change-making power. Their change-making power is not set in motion because of the paradigm in which they are living. Just imagine a scenario. You go and buy a brand new device, and it has many functions, numerous functions, and you decide to use a very fraction of its capabilities. So would you blame the manufacturer? Would you blame the user? Or would you blame the product itself? You see, similarly with young people, young people are born with tremendous abilities. Especially when you are young, it is a quality. You're physically, mentally strong, and this is a time when you can really take on big challenges. The things you can do at this stage is not possible earlier or later stages of life. But what happens because of the educational paradigm in which young people are growing up, they are not fully functional. This ability of create, invent, and innovate or drive change in the society has not been even utilized. The efforts to deploy this ability are completely non-existent. And perhaps this is one of the reasons that many startups fail, because young people, once they're out of the system, education system, because they were trained for almost 2 decades how to run their lives, they're unable to bring change in their lives. So now let me share with you why youth-led startups fail and how change making can really help them. Number one reason, in my opinion, youth startups fail because young people are not prepared. Young people are not prepared physically, mentally, emotionally, because they have no previous experience. They were unable to break their old routine. They were unable to change their habits. They were unable to handle criticism, rejection by the society. Change making provides them an opportunity to prepare for success. Most importantly, change making helps them to develop resilience, because resilience cannot be developed in the classroom. When you are involved in change making, you develop a product or service in a short period of time. You take this product out in the field, and when this project is not accepted or rejected by the society, by someone, you come back, improve it, and this is the time you develop this ability to bounce back from different situations and different circumstances. And this is very, very rare that this skill or ability can be developed in the classrooms. Another reason why startups fail, young people don't like to wait. They are in a rush. They want to achieve things very quickly. For them, slow progress is no progress, and they really want to, achieve milestones in the shortest period of time. They force many doors to open. They can't walk in, and young people don't realize that they are not ready at this point of time to take on bigger responsibilities because they have no experience, no customer base, no social capital, but they force doors to open. They ask too many questions at the beginning when they're not ready to answer them. So perhaps this is one of the reasons that change making can really help them, because it teaches them how to take on products and services by adopting an incremental approach. And it really helps them to understand that every season is not a harvesting season. So young people also help them to overcome their personal weaknesses. It really exposes them to their weaknesses. Otherwise, during the education process, they are completely unaware, out of touch with themselves and out of touch with the society. And within a short period of time, by interacting with the society, they are able to identify their personal gaps and strengths. Remember, at this stage, young people are not required to set up a company. They have to only go out, spot opportunities, and build a solution. So no formalities, no legalities are involved at this time period. Another reason why many startups fail, that young people want to look like an entrepreneur or entrepreneurs. They don't want to act like an entrepreneur. You see, there is a huge difference because they are coming from old conditioning. They were students for so many years. So what happened the moment they get an opportunity, financial grant or loan, they prefer to use this to look like an entrepreneur. They set up fancy offices, they hire secretaries, they buy fancy equipment, and these are the things which basically stop them and divert their attention towards the real issue, the real reason of the establishment of the enterprise. And they less time on the product development and more on looking like an entrepreneur. And you see, change making, the best thing about change making is when you involve young people in this process, you basically provide them a very small trust based investment. It's like $10 to $50. So in that amount, they have to produce a product, not to set up an office. You can't set up an office in $50 or $20 or $10. So you need to spend the entire amount very carefully and intelligently. And this is a very important lesson learned for them, that when you begin your change making journey, your focus should be on product development, not on infrastructure development. Another reason why many startups fail, that young people want to start very big. You see, they want to bring immediate change in the society. They start with this premature optimization that they can bring massive change in the shortest period of time. And perhaps this is the reason that many startups fail very soon, because they don't realize that, see, they have not even changed the lives of few people, how they can change that society, and they plan accordingly. So change making basically helps them to start at small level, helps them to realize that they have to start addressing the problems in the immediate environment, and serve those people who are very close to them, and slowly and gradually it basically facilitates them to reach out to those people who are not known, or companies which are not known. So chain making helps you to adopt incremental approach. Another reason many startups fail, that young people are often motivated by external rewards. You see, I have seen many young people who have no basically desire of becoming an entrepreneur, but they see an opportunity, there is a grant opportunity, there is a loan facility, they decide to embark upon change making journey. They are not inspired by the opportunity, they are not moved by the deprivation or mountain tragedies of people. They, in fact, are inspired by the reward they will get. They just want to meet the requirements of the donor, and for this reason, they entirely focus on developing relationship with the donor, on meeting the requirements of the donor, meeting the legal requirements, and they focus less on the product development. Remember, great companies have great products. You cannot create a great company without a great product. And perhaps this is the reason that their focus shifts towards external grant and less on their internal resources. And the best thing about change making, that right from the beginning it encourages young people to use and rely on their internal resources. Start with value creation and less on value consumption. And we encourage young people to use their power of creativity, power of empathy, power of compassion, power of change making to drive change in the society. Another reason why startups fail, that they often you see invest significant time in planning. They're extensively involved in planning process. They spend hours and hours developing proposals, presentations, elevator pitches, meeting the requirements, and they never realize that, you see, at the end of the day, what matters the most is the product and the service they're going to offer to the people, how it is taken by them. And the best thing about change making is that when you are involved in change making, it is out of building model. You cannot sit down and plan. You have to go out and start interacting with the beneficiaries, with the people who are affected by the problem. You have to spot opportunities in your immediate environment. You have to stop living a heatlessness life. And it basically change making prefers customer feedback over detailed planning. Another reason why startups fail, that again, people sometimes deceive or lie themselves. They tell themselves there is no competition by miles, yet their product or service is the best product. They sometimes share fictitious stories. They sometimes try to manipulate data, and perhaps this is the reason that many startups fail after a few months or years, because they start by deceiving themselves. Many young people have this misconception or functional blindness that whatever product they have developed is the best product, and that there is no such product in the market. And they develop this idea because of lack of interaction with the society, lack of interaction with the market. Because they have been students for so many years, they have no idea how the market runs and how the market functions. And once they're out, it really helps them, and change making really helps them to have this reality check. The moment they produce a product, they go out and people don't accept it, they come back, improve it in hours, and go back again, because we provide a very short time frame. We provide only 2 to 4 weeks to young people, and this really helps them to have this ground reality about the project, about the services, whether it is really appreciated, liked by the customers or not. Then young people often attempt to dominate large markets. This is one of the biggest mistakes I've seen. Many young people start by setting up their office in the big markets or outlets in the big markets. They never realize that the best way to begin the change making journey is to begin in those places where no one notices you, so that you can make mistakes, you can learn from those mistakes, and again, then you can move forward. But unfortunately, they try to compete with big companies, who have huge cloud, huge infrastructure, huge outreach, and they think they can compete with them. They think their product is better than them. They try to match their financial capital, social capital. They have no idea about it, and unfortunately, and they have to then face serious consequences sometimes, because if you compete with big companies and big markets, so what happens? If you are down, it is very difficult for you to bounce back from a difficult situation. But if you are testing a product in unknown communities where no one notices you, you can really come back very strong. Uh, and lastly, I would say young people don't have access to real teachers. I think this is the biggest reason why young people and why startups fail, because many young people have no access to the real teachers. Their teachers are trained in teaching knowledge. They are not trained in using knowledge. You see, in developing countries, every second day you see that teachers are on the roads asking for enhancement in their salaries. All my life I have heard this: knowledge is power. If knowledge is power, then why this power has not been used? Unfortunately, our teachers are not trained in using that knowledge. They have not realized that knowledge is potential power. If it is not used or organized to produce something valuable for the society, it has no value. And perhaps this is the reason that students who wanted to become change makers, entrepreneurs, business entrepreneurs, uh, they are unable to do so because they have no access to the real teachers. I often give advice to young people: when you begin your change making journey, never seek advice from those who have not taken the journey. So these are the major reasons. And I think once they start their change making journey, what happens? You see, change making journey leads to self directed learning, and which is the best way to learn. When you encounter difficult circumstances, when you encounter difficult situations and you handle those, and this is how you can develop your character and your ability to produce something valuable for the society. So these are the major reasons why many startups fail. And in my opinion, change making serves as a catalyst, enabling young people to set up an enterprise or find an exciting job. At least there are three major ways, in my opinion, where change making really helps young people. Number one, it begins with internal transformation. Then it leads to societal transformation. You see, in startups, many founders start with the notion of jumping to societal change immediately without bringing necessary changes in their mindset, in their behaviors, in their values. Second thing, change making begins with value creation and not by value consumption. Many startups start by showing value rather than creating value. They want to really show that they are very successful already. They have huge offices. They hardly focus on the product development. And the best thing about change making, it focuses right from the first day on product development, product testing, product validation. Lastly, the best thing about change making is that it basically focuses on using internal resources. You see, most of the times when you look at young people embark upon change making journey or set up their own enterprise, they are inspired by a grant or by an opportunity for funding, and they rely less on their internal resources. And when we involve in change making process, basically the idea is to help young people get in touch with their internal resources, their ability to think, invent, and innovate. Everyone is born with this ability to give birth to an idea that can create social economic impact. And we really tap these abilities right from the beginning. And this really helps young people to find a way to get a job in the society or to set up their own enterprises. So remember, it's not just the idea that matters. It's the person behind the idea that matters the most. And ideas often falter due to lack of character qualifications. And the best thing about change making is when you are involved in change making, it leads to your deconditioning. It helps you, shedding out your myths and misconceptions, and it really builds your character from inside out. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Ali, for generously sharing key insights on how change making empowers young individuals to embark on the journey of setting up startups and finding exciting job opportunities. Your wisdom has undoubtedly enriched our understanding. So, as we conclude, let's emphasize that change making offers a wide range of benefits, fostering innovation, resilience, and a mindset of positive impact. We look forward to more enlightening discussions. Until next time, thank you for being a guiding force in our exploration of change making possibilities.